Welcome back to the Profits of IT, the podcast where we sit down with the smartest people in the IT channel and pull out insights that actually make a difference. I'm your host, Jim Punzenberger, founder and creator of ManageProspectingSystem.com. Before we begin here, a quick word from our sponsor, which just happens to be ManageProspectingSystem.com, the three-pillar system that helps IT companies generate predictable leads through authority content, LinkedIn outreach, targeted email campaigns. So if you're done hoping that the phone rings and you're ready for real pipeline, check out ManageProspecting.com, ManageProspectingSystem.com after the show. So I've got somebody who is going to give us, give our audience some rare vendor perspective from somebody who actually gets it. And he's VP of SMB Business Development at OpenText. He was named #1 disruptor in the channel by CRN last year. He's played quarterback in baseball. He's been a quarterback, and also it's football and baseball in college. Did I get that correct, Mike?
So I played baseball in college. I played football in high school. So yeah, I was quarterback in high school, but just baseball in college.
So that was enough. Mixed up, but
yeah.
Mike, welcome to the show. Welcome, Profits IT. Feel free to say hi to the audience.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Hopefully everybody's having a great day as you're watching this.
Well, Mike, let's jump right into it with your truth bomb.
Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned that yours is going to, what I think is going to ease a lot of anxiety for MSP owners listening, because there is fear in the channel right now that vendors are planning to go around MSPs and sell directly to the clients, basically bypassing the channel. And you're a VP at one of the biggest technologies companies on the planet. So what's really happening?
Yeah, I mean, I hear that often, whether it's on the road or you see like rumblings of it on Reddit or any of the social medias. But I mean, it's actually the exact opposite. And if you really just break it down in business sense, it's way more scalable for us to work with managed service providers than to work direct. It's been the way that, security vendors in the channel have grown. So instead of trying to manage 10,000 individual small businesses, let's manage 1,000 MSPs or 100 MSPs that have the ability to kind of to not only go to market, but also, handle level 1 support and that type of stuff. So, at OpenText, our division, they've given me and my team a lot of autonomy. They may not understand the minutia of how the channel works, but they understand the model, and they understand where the investments need to be made. And I'm seeing that, it's not just a promotion for OpenText. I think even the really big vendors, I'm on a council called the Channel Executive Council. So it's channel chiefs from all kinds of security vendors, large, small, some of the biggest hyperscalers around there. And those conversations, kind of like a peer group and for channel chiefs. And the conversations are all about partner programs. How do we engage the channel? What are MSPs looking for from their vendors? There's never any conversation about cutting them out. It just wouldn't make sense business-wise. So I do want to make sure everybody out there in the channel understands that from my knowledge and the conversations I'm having, not only internally, but with the other major vendors, it's the exact opposite, trying to figure out how we could help the channel grow.
That makes sense. It's much easier to scale with through the channel than it would be on your own.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's shift gears here a moment, Mike, and talk about your superpower. You mentioned that we were talking about it earlier, and yours makes perfect sense once you know your background. You said your biggest strength is galvanizing people towards a common goal. And you said that started on the field as playing sports?
Yeah.
You wanna tell us more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, sports were a huge part of my life growing up through high school and then obviously through college. And, I was fortunate enough to be captains of a couple teams. And I think taking that, the skills that you learn doing that applies to your whole life, whether it's family, friends, and most importantly at this point, business. And so, it was interesting when I was younger, 20 years ago, I had a boss of mine. He asked me, "Do you know this guy?" And my was answer, "Oh, I love that guy." And he told me, he goes, "You're never going to become a manager with that mentality where you like everybody." So now that I'm a vice president at a tech company, I hope he's looking at my LinkedIn because I haven't changed that. And I think it's such a, it's different styles. And I think in the channel, it's way more important to just develop relationships with everybody. I had to do a talk last week at a Enables event, and it was about the power of relationships. And I would say I owe my whole career to developing relationships, both with partners, internally, with other vendors. And I think that that's one of the ways that the channel has grown. I don't think I'm unique to that. I think it's a common theme for successful MSPs and vendors. And so, as my team grows out here, when I came on, I was a team of one. They created a division, and now I'm up to five. I'm always looking to hire people that have that same type of mentality. Right? There's going to be good days, there's going to be bad days, but we're all going to kind of be in it together. And you want to make work enjoyable, conversations. And so, yeah, I think it's a big focus point for me and kind of like my leadership style for sure.
Got it. So, Mike, I also like to talk about things that guests have learned over the years in their career, and and also specifically, a big learning moment, typically something that hasn't gone right in the or the way that they expected it to go, and they call it the $1 million learning moment. Yours is counterintuitive in the best way. You said early in your career you didn't understand the importance of making relationships with other vendors, including direct competitors. Most people in sales would say that's not common, or that's crazy talk. What changed your mind?
Yeah, when I got into this, so I was an individual contributor when I joined Datto about 11, 12 years ago. Then I moved over to this business development role, and I was able to work under a guy named Rob Ray, who a lot of people in the channel know. He's with Pax 8 now. And I remember about 6 months in, I'm out on the road going to events, and he's looking at my expense reports. He said, "Do you ever go out with other vendors?" And I said, "No." In my mind, I had the sales mentality, like, no, I should be around MSPs all the time. And he says, "No." He goes, "It's going to be hard to quantify, but believe me, the importance of making relationships with other vendors, even direct competitors, is important." And it's always stuck with me. So I make a point. And now, and you look at how things come around. We live in a community, a channel that people are moving around. You never know who you're going to be working with or who you're going to be reporting to.
Mhm.
But even just the connections, and I give a recent example. We just start a strategic relationship with a newer company called Hats AI. It's an AI platform for MSPs. And the way that that relationship came about, the guy Jimmy Hatzel, who runs the company, started the company, used to work for a competitor. He worked for Barracuda. He was at Scout and Barracuda, so we competed at the data level. But guy you'd see at all the events and became friends with. There was another MSP who I worked with at Data, who's not an OpenText partner, but I'm friends with. We still get together whenever we're in town together. He was the one that first suggested we reach out to Jimmy and talked about a strategic relationship with Hats. He worked. I live in Connecticut. Jim is in New York, so we got together for dinner and we formulated a strategic plan. So again, it was a relationship that started with me just having breakfast with a guy who's a competitor, staying close with an MSP that's no longer a partner in my new role at OpenText. Has now formulated this strategic relationship with Hats, which got a lot of publicity, and we're really excited about. So again, like that, there's a million of those type of examples of you never know when your paths are going to cross and the stars are going to align, and is a way to do that. And if I had kept, if I didn't listen to Rob and I just kept to myself and just focused on, I would have never made that relationship with Jim, and we probably wouldn't have this relationship between OpenText and Hats AI. And so, I hope people listening, and that goes for MSPs too. Some of the best MSPs I know are friendly with their MSPs in their market. I know folks that get together once a month with all their MSP competitors. It seems in this industry, those relationships are so important. And now, as things are changing so quickly with AI and all the rest, like the power of those relationships is even more important.
That makes sense. So, Mike, uh, let's hear about what's got you excited at OpenText right now. What should MSPs know about what's going on at OpenText?
Yeah, the biggest thing we've been working on is revamping our partner program. We've been doing it for some time, but what we did was we hired a third party to come in, channel mastered, and do some focus groups with partners, non-partners. And some of the results were surprising of what the channel actually wants. I mean, it's one of those things, all our vendors, as much as the channel has changed, partner programs have pretty much been the same since I've been here for the last 12 years. And so, a lot of the things that partners were asking for were the simple things, like first 90-day experience. So we're putting a bunch of resources into that onboarding. The relationships with your account manager. So now we're making so these aren't the cool things that might, stand up on stage and make a big splash. But the other thing was enablement and relationships with other vendors. And so we are trying to take all this data and say, okay, what does it mean not just to having a pamphlet that we hand out or a website you can go to and take a look at our partner program, but things that actually move the needle. And so the biggest thing is being, the easiest company to work with. It's so liberating to work for a company. We've got no contracts. We've got self-serve bundles for the folks that want to consolidate. Everything can be a la carte. Again, trying to meet the MSPs where they want to be met. And so that will be released on July 1st, the new partner program. We've got some things in beta with our advisory board right now. We hired a woman, Christine Gassman, back in January. She's leading the charge. A lot of people in the channel know her. I worked with her at Datto for years back in the day, and so she's back working with me. And so, I mean, for us, it's exciting. We've got some good announcements on the technology side. We've got some announcements on our backup suite that is coming out soon. But I think the more important thing and what's going to impact the partners more are the resources we're trying to put in place to help our partners grow and to strengthen that relationship, moving forward.
Cool. So, if a MSP is interested in learning more about OpenText, what would be the good next steps?
Yeah, I mean, look, there's a form right on opentext.com where you could sign up. The cybersecurity division is the one that I oversee. That's the channel side. But I'd love to connect with everybody on LinkedIn. I mean, just find me on LinkedIn, Michael DePalma. A lot of relationships start there, and it's pretty cool when you're out at an event and you say, "Oh, we've got LinkedIn. You might remember me." And so my first suggestion is that I'm not, my position kind of sits in between sales and marketing. So I'm not trying to sell anybody. I'm not quota bearing or anything like that. So if you want to get a sense of OpenText, just connect with me and my team, and we'll kind of walk you through what we're trying to accomplish over here.
Cool. So, we'll include in the show notes, check the show notes. So we'll include a link to your LinkedIn then also.
Perfect. Awesome.
Well, Mike, it's been great having you on here today. Any final thoughts before we wrap up?
No, we're a lot of events coming up. I'll be on the road pretty much every week, all the way through July. So if you are one of those folks that goes on the road, please stop by the booth. I'd love to chat with as many people as possible.
Well, there you go. Look for Mike at one of the events. And well, that's another episode of Profits of IT. Again, I'm your host, Jim Punzenberger, creator and founder of ManageProspectingSystem.com. Go check out ManageProspectingSystem.com. And until next time, stay hydrated and caffeinated. Bye for now.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Jim.